Hello, and welcome to MrDudeManSir. Today, I am back with some Go Everlasting Summer. I downloaded a thing that just came out in English, a little extension to the game, a DLC, made by a player, like a random person. I believe this is also like an app on a phone or something that you can actually buy. But of course, if you're on PC, you get it for free because you're all cool like that. So, it's finally in English. It looked pretty cool, though I've heard some mixed feelings about it, though. I still want to play it. It looked like all the animations, all the character designs look like much better in my opinion. So, with that, I'm gonna start it. Look at that beautiful overview. Eh. I wonder how things are going to change in the wintertime. I am ready. Everything in this life has a beginning and an end. There will be no new life without death and no joy of a long-awaited meeting without parting. Unless the universe itself could break this rule at the very beginning, but we can't know this. Everything has its cause and consequence, one thing leads to another. Motivation of our actions, their outcome, this invisible thread runs through our existence. What would happen if I didn't? I was distracted from these existential thoughts by a heavy blow on the forehead. Ow. That is Jenna, by the way. That is Jenna. She was looking and hanging over me as well. Annoyed. Daydreaming again? I gotta act like my full tsundere self while doing this as well. I can't reflect upon my own thoughts about existential things. I replied resentfully. As much as you want, please, do it somewhere else. As if I'm bothering you. Just fancy your Jimmy somewhere else. She set the glasses straight casually and stared out of the window. Jenna is always like this, affected seriousness, excessive self-confidence, and belief in her rightness, desire to show that she shows everything better than others. And I heard a moment silence thing. Aren't you homesick? Why? She looked at me bewildered. Well, I am. You've spent less than a week here. Well, the thing started in summer and now it's winter, so I'd say it's a little bit over a week. But this is probably in a different, dimension. Yeah, right, but I didn't know what to say next time and gave a deep sigh. You have something to miss then. Jenna made a serious face. The N turned into an H, so it's like Jeha! Jeha! Not really. Why then? Oh, you see, I thought everything would be different here. Haven't you been to a camp before? You scrub. I admit it honestly. But what have you expected? Well, that is lunch, so I kind of expected that. I was unspeakably happy about it, as I don't know how to answer a question anyway. Shall we go? Wait, are they wanting to be together? No? Well, shall we go is usually I hold out my hand and like, shall we go, mademoiselle? And then they go off and fall into the sunset. But probably not here. Yeah. I answered absently. Wow. I like your, is that a bonnet? Is it called a bonnet? I think so. I like it. I also like the random tractor that's there right next to the statue of Genda? Genda. I stopped in the square though. You know, I just stopped by my tent. Go on. Okay. Jenna shrugged her shoulders and went to the canteen. I waited until she was out of sight, sat on a bench, buried my face in my hands and sighed in exhaustion. I know the feeling. Girls will do that to you. No, I definitely wasn't going back to the tent knowing the electronic was there. Wait. Oh, so you're in tents, not cabins, and apparently electronics there. So wait a second. During the summer you go to a cabin, but in the winter you go to a tent. I see some weird inconsistencies here. These days I got sick of him blabbering about, yeah, He forgot about how I always asks you to be part of the electronic club. Which is a little bit annoying. I always was really good on the street, provided that he would be ever seeing my face anymore. It was absolutely obvious that not all of the tents were occupied, which means there were vacant places. But I simply couldn't dispute with Olga Michievna when she lodged me with this future luminary in Soviet science. I have never been good at arguing. So I have already 7 days in this camp. 7 darn needless, useless, and pointless days. I like how he doesn't curse. Thumbs up. My initial fear and horror when I thought I died and gone to... Okay, never mind. It's forgotten now. All silly theories of alien abduction, government experience, and time hole were forgotten. The chance to start my life anew. To forget the past, its mistakes and losses. I didn't feel euphoric about all this anymore. Now I was left with a rotten anthrax of the present and vague future which I believe would hardly ever come. This guy is going deep into like thoughts. I'm gonna move my mouse slowly out of there you go. I'm surrounded by old, frayed, ragged puppets of local inhabitants, pioneers, and their leader. Who are they anyway? What are they? They are barely an excuse for a human being causing a compassionate smile or a wild grin, a misplaced grotesque touch to a picture of purgatory wallowing in sins and vices, my last refuge in this life. I spit in disgust and punched on the bench. I tried to spend all my free time in the library. Why not? In the end, it was only a place that reminded me of my old life. So Wintertale is like the tale of dating Jenna. Yeah, I can't wait to see like Oljana and Slavia, because their CGs are on point. The same books I once read, from Pushkin's and Anderson's tales of Sholokov? Sholokov and Platonov's life stories of real men. Of course, here was no science fiction, which I liked the most. Shekli Schlengene Highline. That sounds like a German name. It's no surprise, as it turned out in Soviet Russia, science reads you. Soft crackle of pages yellow from time, thick covers, warm backs, and the scent of a book dust, which can't be confused with anything. I would have gone mad long ago, without these common things of which I took no notice considering them ordinary. Maybe I'm in a book myself now. Yeah, everything's inconceivable, unseen genius going on. By the way, what's actually going on? During these 7 days, absolutely nothing has happened. Nothing! I've been eating, sleeping, reading, eating, sleeping. Eating and sleeping. Sounds like the life. Could it be some serious psychological drama, a tragedy of an unwanted man? I grinned. There was something else in the library, though. Something that made me rush there in a frosty morning before breakfast, making my way through snowdrifts and shivering cold. Something I couldn't yet admit. Science fiction, my favorite subject. The sun topped the horizon, giving out no warmth to the frozen camp. And just to hit on the idea of sending children here in winter. Ow! The person who created this visual novel. That's who. Surely he was nowhere near summer when I pulled out my past, but still. I tried to remember if camps actually worked in winter, but it was in vain. Snowflakes slowly fell on Genda's head. Trees were covered by a white veil of snow, and frozen puddles glinted in the sun beyond all bearing. The Wintertale, Idyll, I think. That's what I couldn't think senior in situations. I stood up reluctantly and looked at the watch. I still had time before lunch. Man. Okay, so he said he had time for lunch, but he went there anyway. Well, my gosh! The pictures have changed. I mean, look at this thing! What is that? Like, this thing here? What is it? I don't know, but this is like some sort of like... Okay, this is this cooking. This is like 3 chefs and like a bunch of food. This is like some sort of renegade like, poster. It's like, we need you to renegade against the cause or something. And this is like a map of the place. Cabbage soup, pasta, and a cutlet. The food didn't matter to me at all. Man, okay, so no Slavia's sitting on me saying the same sentence that Jenna did. You see? Okay, now that I look closer at it, it looks like she was drawn with a crayon. But I like it. I mean, it looks, her hair mostly, and her fingers kind of look a little bit weird, but I like it. I mean, if like the actual creators of the game took this CG and like patched it to be really, really, really smooth and everything, I would really love this. I think this is what they should have done with it. It looks really good. Still picking my food, I looked up and saw Slavia. I shrugged. Oh my gosh, we just like blooped there. I like the macaroni and cheese and what looks like some sort of pea and fruit soup thing. Vegetable soup. She sat down across me and smilaed. Why are you sad again? Why again? You are always sad. She put on a serious face. I like how her serious face is just like staring at me. Like if you stare at her eyes, it looks like she goes slightly cross-eyed. She looks like one of those girls that like are so calm they don't give a crap about anything. Like those, like kind of like Viola, is it? That just like sits there just like, I don't care. But like in a sort of like sensual way. Kind of. What is it called? Like a kudere? I think it's a kudere. It's one of those girls. She put on a serious face though. I've looked way too much into that sentence. Am I? I answered absently. You are! Do you think no one notices? To tell the truth, I ain't care! I'm sorry. There's nothing to apologize. Oh my gosh, she's so sad! And now her like hair and everything's all like patched up as well. Looks nice. But there's nothing to apologize. She frowned. I'm trying what is best. I was about to say, leave me alone, then, but restrained myself. Thanks for the care. I said indifferently. Do you perhaps want to have a talk? No. No. What do they have to talk to her about? You'll feel better. You a psychologist or something? I replied crossly. How does someone reply crossly? I don't even know what that means. You are angry. Yes, gomenasai. I said, reverting to my normal state of apathy. Which means that I am right! Like all girls should be, but she looks pretty sad, so I'll let her be right this time. Yes, undoubtedly. You are not listening to me! Yeah. See, I agree, and I see that you and me, and dubiously,